Hello again, everybody. Just making another video in our series. In algebra, this one is how do I know if a number is part of my pattern? And so we're going to start off. I've put up a composite rule. And first we need to generate that rule. So quick review. We need to look at what changes, what stays the same each time. Well, looking at our rule, we start off with 3 tiles. And then we move to 5 tiles. And then we move to 7 tiles. Had to count them up. 3 to 5 to 7. Well, I can see that that is a constant increase of plus 2 each time. And then, of course, in the pattern, I've got myself, in addition to the growing by plus 2, I've got something that stays the same, and those red tiles in the middle, one stays the same. So in this case, I can generate my pattern rule from that by looking at what we've learned already, what stays the same and what increases each time. And I'm going to fill that in. The multiplier is what is the constant increase in each case. In this case, plus 2. So I have my position number times 2. What stays the same? 1. And I can just quickly check that in my mind. I'm going to use position number 2. 2 times 2 is 1, plus 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So it matches my position number 2. May as well check position number 3. I'm going to substitute position 3 into my expression. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and I've got 7 tiles there as well, so it all works out. Even though this pattern seems to grow in an irregular form, we can still get that what changed, what's constant. Well, now that we have our pattern rule, or our expression, the question becomes, is 103 tiles part of it? Well, there's 2 ways to look at this. First way would be guess and check, using some common sense. Now, I know that 50 times 2 is roughly 100, so I could very easily take my expression and I can check to see, is 50 part of that pattern? Will it give me 103 tiles? Well, if I replace position number with 50, multiply it by 2, add 1, I get 100 plus 1, I get 101. Well, it doesn't quite work. We're not at 103. Somebody here might say, well, isn't it plus 2 plus 2? So if I add 2 to that, I definitely get 103. Well, we need to confirm that. So I'm going to go to the next position number, multiply it by 2, add 1, and that's our expression rule. So I'm going to put 51 in here, times 2 plus 1. 51 times 2 is 102, plus 1 equals 103. So yes, I have verified through guess and check some very efficient knowledge of number sense that 103 does fit in our pattern at the 51st position. How can I find that another way? Because sometimes I can't quite estimate what my position number might be to make it work. Well, we haven't done solving yet fully. We've done some examples in class, but not all the way. So let's take a look at that. If I take my entire expression, my position number times 2 plus 1, and make it equal to the number of tiles. In this case, I want to know 103. If I solve this down, I will eventually get to a position number as a whole number. And if I get a whole number, then I know my answer is correct. If I get a decimal, then no, it's not part of the pattern. In solving, we are working on reverse BEDMAS because we want to undo all of the math that is acting on, I'm going to draw out my BEDMAS. There we go. That is acting on my position number. If I undo all of that, I'm going to be left at the end just with my position number. That sounds a bit weird the first time we see it, but here we go. We're undoing reverse BEDMAS. So normally I would multiply or divide or do the opposite to undo. This time it's going to be add or subtract. So I have to do the inverse operation of what's acting on my expression. And in this case, I see it's multiplied by 2, my position number, and it's added 1. So I want to undo that plus 1. Opposite of 1, subtract 1. So if I subtract 1 to each side, I am going to be left with a shorter expression. It remains balanced because I did the same reverse operation on each side of the expression. So I undid the 1 that was acting on my position number, and I'm left with position number times 2 equals 102. Well, I need to do the same thing. What's acting on my position number? That says times 2. Well, opposite of division, or pardon me, multiplication is division, so I'm going to divide each side by 2, and that is going to get rid of that multiplier of times 2, leaving me with my position number, and when I do my math, 102 divided by 2 gives me 51. And I am left with, again, position number is equal to 51. So 2 ways to see if a number fits into your pattern. Number 1 is really what's expected at this point, guess and check. Efficiently estimating what position number might be right, and then trying a couple to make sure that you've gone above or below or right onto that number of tiles. Number 2, we could do algebraic solving. Composite rules are going to take 2 steps to do that. We have to undo everything acting on our expression. We create a full expression equal to the number of tiles. And in this case that we had to remove in reverse BEDMAS, we undid the +1 that was acting on our position number by subtracting 1. And then we were able to divide away the multiplier of 2, dividing each side by 2, getting our position number of 51. So 2 ways we can check if a number fits our pattern. If you want to do a little bit more of algebraic solving in 2 steps, just look that up on Google, solving algebraic equations in 2 steps. But by all means, I'm expecting at this point to be able to efficiently use that good old guess and check method to see if the number of tiles fits your pattern. Hope this helped. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.